Welcome to this in-depth report on the United States' recent and highly controversial decision to pause shipments of Patriot air defense missile systems to Ukraine, a move that has sparked outrage, confusion, and deep concern not only in Kyiv, but also among Ukraine's Western allies. What exactly happened? In a surprising announcement, the U.S. Department of Defense confirmed that it would suspend deliveries of several categories of weapons to Ukraine. Most significant among them are the Patriot missile systems, highly advanced air defense batteries that Ukraine has relied upon to protect civilians from Russian ballistic and cruise missile attacks. This decision was all the more unexpected because it came just days after President Donald Trump attended the NATO summit and appeared to express a willingness to consider providing additional Patriot systems to Ukraine. When asked by a Ukrainian journalist whether the United States would continue supplying Patriots, Trump replied, "Let me just tell you, they do want to have the anti-missile missiles, okay? The Patriots. And we're going to see if we can make some available. They're very hard to get. We need them too. We were supplying them to Israel, and they're very effective. 100% effective. Hard to believe how effective. And they do want that more than any other thing, as you probably know. That's a very good question, and I wish you a lot of luck. I can see it's very upsetting to you." Shock and frustration in Ukraine. The Ukrainian government made no effort to conceal its disappointment. Oleksandr Merezhko, the head of Ukraine's Parliamentary Committee on Foreign Affairs, who had previously nominated Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize, described the decision as a painful setback. In an interview, Merezhko stated, "Of course, it reminds us of what happened just several months ago when military support for Ukraine was put on hold. We hope this is not a rerun of the same story." He emphasized that Kyiv had received no prior notice or official confirmation from Washington about the suspension. As a result, Ukraine's Ministry of Defense is now urgently seeking clarification directly from the Pentagon. Urgent diplomatic contacts. On the same day the pause was reported, Ukraine's Ministry of Foreign Affairs summoned the chargé d'affaires of the U.S. Embassy in Kyiv. During the meeting, Ukrainian officials stressed that continued deliveries of American air defense systems, especially Patriots, are absolutely essential to protect civilians who face almost nightly missile attacks. Merezhko added, "I live in Kyiv, and almost every night we are being bombed by Russia. We know that American Patriot systems save thousands of lives here. For us, it would be a huge problem, because we cannot effectively counter Russian ballistic missiles without Patriots and air defense systems provided by our European allies." A contradictory message. What makes this development even more puzzling is that, only recently, other senior U.S. officials, including Senator Marco Rubio, publicly stated that the United States was actively working to secure additional Patriot systems from European partners to help Ukraine. This gap between public statements and concrete actions has raised widespread questions. Is there a division within the U.S. government over whether to maintain military support for Ukraine? Is Washington prioritizing replenishing its own shrinking stockpiles over supporting Kyiv? Or is this pause a tactical maneuver designed to pressure Russia, or perhaps Ukraine itself? The Nobel Peace Prize nomination withdrawn. Amid this tense situation, Merezhko also revealed that he had formally withdrawn his earlier nomination of Donald Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. Explaining his decision, he said, "The nomination was for the previous year, but I expected President Trump to deliver on his promises." He pledged that if Russia didn't comply with his demands within 1.5 or 2 weeks, he would impose sanctions against Russia. Unfortunately, he did not deliver on that promise. That is why I decided to withdraw my nomination. Lives at stake. For Ukrainian officials, this isn't simply a matter of diplomatic embarrassment or political maneuvering. It is fundamentally about survival. Without Patriots, Kyiv and other major cities become dramatically more exposed to Russia's escalating missile campaign. Merezhko underscored that the lives of ordinary Ukrainians are at risk every single day. The relentless strikes on apartment buildings, hospitals, and infrastructure are often prevented only thanks to advanced systems like the Patriot batteries. Why are Patriot systems so critical? The MEM-104 Patriot is considered one of the world's most advanced air defense systems. It can intercept ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and aircraft with high precision. Unlike shorter-range systems, Patriots can defend entire urban areas. Since the start of Russia's full-scale invasion, they have played a vital role in protecting Ukraine's cities and energy grid. However, U.S. stockpiles have been stretched thin by multiple conflicts, including large deliveries of the same systems to Israel, forcing the Pentagon to make difficult choices about where to allocate remaining resources. What happens next? For the moment, Ukraine's Ministry of Defense is awaiting formal clarification from Washington. At the same time, Kyiv is exploring whether European partners can step in to fill the gap in air defenses. Despite the uncertainty, Ukrainian leaders have made clear that they will continue pressing their allies to honor commitments and provide critical military assistance. A pivotal moment in the war. This pause in shipments could have long-term consequences, not only for Ukraine's ability to defend itself, but also for Western credibility as a whole. As Russia intensifies its attacks and Ukraine braces for potentially more severe phases of the conflict, the central question remains: will the United States reconsider and resume deliveries of Patriot systems? Or will Ukraine be forced to face this growing threat with fewer resources and a heightened risk to civilians? We will continue to follow this story closely,